Imagine sitting down to your favorite plate, steaming rice, warm bread, or a heaping bowl of pasta, and knowing with confidence that the meal ahead won't cause a roller coaster of blood sugar spikes. Imagine feeling steady energy for hours, clearer thinking, fewer cravings, and real control, without ever banning carbs from your life. Pause sounds good, right? Hi, I am Naim, and today I'm going to show you 7 practical, science-backed strategies to lower and smooth blood sugar while still enjoying carbohydrates. No extreme diets, no deprivation, just evidence-based habits you can start this week. Smile, stick with me. By the end, you'll have a short, doable plan you can start tomorrow, including exact on-plate swaps, timing tricks, movement habits, and simple lifestyle shifts that change how your body handles carbs. I'll also point to the science behind the big wins so you and your diet interact. Stop. Viewers know this isn't guesswork. It's what studies and clinicians are recommending right now. Before we jump into the strategies, let's quickly remind ourselves why smoothing blood sugar matters. After we eat, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose and enter the bloodstream. That rise in blood glucose is normal and necessary. Glucose is fuel. But when blood sugar spikes quickly and often, it creates problems. Repeated big spikes raise insulin demand, promote fat storage, increase inflammation, and over time contribute to insulin resistance, the root of prediabetes and type-R diabetes. People who frequently experience large post-meal spikes also report energy crashes, brain fog, stronger cravings, and disrupted sleep. So it's not just future risk, it's daily quality of life. EMPHA size, the great news is we can dramatically change the shape of that post-meal glucose curve, lower the peak, slow the rise, and keep levels stable without eliminating carbohydrates. That's what this video is about. Practical swaps and habits that alter how your body handles the same carb foods, so you get better results from the same meals. At a glance, the 7 strategies we'll cover are move more, especially right after meals, prioritize fiber, pair carbs with protein, add healthy fats in sensible portions, use meal timing, time-restricted eating when appropriate, optimize hydration, sleep, and stress, and use small portion ash plate tricks and monitoring. I'll explain how each works, why it helps, and give you real-world examples and scripts to say on camera so your viewers can follow along. If there's one single habit that gives you immediate results, it's movement after meals. When your muscles contract, they use glucose directly. Short bursts of walking or activity after eating pull sugar out of the bloodstream and into working muscle. That's why even a small walk after a meal can blunt the blood sugar spike. Multiple studies show this effect. For example, controlled trials and meta-analyses demonstrate that a brisk, sure cents-per-minute walk after meal significantly lowers the post-meal glucose peak and improves overall glycemic control. Some recent research even found that a brief sure-minute walk immediately after eating produced noticeably lower peak glucose levels compared with sitting still. Pause. How to tell your audience. No gym, no problem. Start with a sure-minute brisk walk after your biggest meal. If you can't do straight minutes, do 3-minute walks around the block, marching in place while you watch a show, or walking during a phone call. You'll blunt your blood sugar spike and feel less tired afterward. If you want to aim higher and time allows, Erster Spencer's minutes of moderate walking after a main meal on most days yields greater gains. For busy people, brief activity bursts to minutes after meals still help. Even standing, a quick stair climb or light bodyweight move squats, marching work, clinical guidance suggests the beneficial window is roughly within sure chores minutes after the meal. Tonight, after dinner, take a sure minute walk. Set your phone timer, take a neighbor, or pace while you catch up on messages. Notice how your energy holds steady instead of crashing. Important safety note, if someone takes glucose-lowering medications, especially insulin or sulfonylureas, post-meal activity can increase the risk of low blood sugar. They should check with their healthcare professional before changing exercise or meal timing routines. Fiber is one of the easiest on-plate wins you can make. Soluble fiber, the kind found in oats, legumes, apples, and psyllium, forms a gel in the gut that slows digestion and the release of glucose into the bloodstream. That means smaller later blood sugar rises and greater satiety. Harvard's nutrition source and large cohort studies show that higher fiber intake is associated with steadier blood sugar, better weight management, and lower risk of type-R diabetes. In observational and intervention studies, cereal fiber and total fiber intake consistently protect metabolic health. Practical swaps your viewers can use include white rice mixed rice with lentils kitch brown or wild rice, or cauliflower rice mixed with beans, white bread whole grain flatbread, sprouted grain bread, or a lettuce wrap whole grain side, sugary cereal, steel cut oats with seeds and berries, or a Greek yogurt parfait with oats. A simple plate idea: half your plate vegetables or salad, 1/4 protein, 1/4 whole grain, or starchy veg. That visual helps viewers increase fiber without counting grams. If someone is significantly upping fiber, do it gradually and drink plenty of water. Sudden large increases can cause bloating or gas. Psyllium or oat fiber can be used temporarily, but whole food sources give more vitamins, minerals, and satiety. The next trick is to stop eating carbs alone. Pair carbohydrates with a palm-sized portion of protein: eggs, chicken, fish, paneer, lentils, Greek yogurt. At each meal, protein blunts the glucose rise and helps you feel fuller longer. It also supports muscle mass, which is important for insulin sensitivity. Clinical studies show that adding protein to carbohydrate meals reduces glucose area under the curve and can improve postprandial responses. Trials using dairy, plant, and mixed proteins report measurable reductions in glucose responses when protein is company ingested with carbs. Try these pairings: a bowl of rice, top it with a generous serving of chickpeas or a grilled fish fillet. Roti cash flatbread, add an omelet or a spiced paneer lash tempeh side. Pasta, stir in white beans and toss with tuna or shredded chicken. A simple mental rule you can tell viewers: think protein first. When you plate carbs, first add protein, then add the carbs. That helps form the habit. Healthy fats: olive oil, avocado, nuts. Seeds slow gastric emptying and reduce the speed at which glucose appears in the blood. That's not licensed to go wild. Moderation matters. A thumb-sized portion of fat, a small handful of nuts, a slice of avocado, a tablespoon of olive oil with a meal goes a long way. Research and reviews consistently report that adding fat and protein to carbohydrates lowers the glycemic response by delaying gastric emptying and altering hormone signals. Balanced meals that combine fibers, protein, healthy fat produce noticeably smaller glucose spikes than carbs eaten alone. Examples: drizzle olive oil and lemon on a grilled vegetable and rice bowl. Add a small handful of almonds to your porridge. Use a spoonful of tahini or peanut butter with fruit. Keep fats to a serving. For most people, a tablespoon of oil or Durhunter Silver nuts per meal is sensible. These fats bring satiety and metabolic benefit without excessive calories when used thoughtfully. Timing matters. Our metabolism runs on circadian rhythms. Eating most of your calories earlier in the day and keeping a consistent daily eating window. For example, finishing dinner by chi p.m. and eating again at shuri a.m. can reduce overall glucose exposure and help fasting glucose and HbA1c for many people. Recent systematic reviews and meta-analyses of time-restricted eating TRE show modest but consistent improvements in fasting glucose, HbA1c, and time in range for people with metabolic dysfunction or type R diabetes when they maintain a consistent eating window. So, effects are modest but meaningful, especially when combined with weight loss and improved sleep. TRE isn't required for everyone. If someone's life or work schedule, shift work, long fasting for religious reasons, or medication timing makes TRE impractical, the benefits may be small and not worth the complexity. But if a viewer is curious, an easy experiment is pick a sure hour daily window for 2 weeks, for example, bot AM to look PM, and note energy, sleep, and fasting glucose if they track these. Keep the window consistent every day. For many people, finishing dinner earlier, for example, by Cheetah PM and avoiding late night snacks can reduce overnight blood sugar burden and improve morning fasting levels. If you take medications, check with your clinician first. Timing can affect dosing. Hydration, stress, and sleep form the background habits that shape how well the other strategies work. Clean water helps kidneys flush excess glucose and reduces temptation for night. Sugary drinks, one of the fastest ways to spike blood sugar. Public health organizations emphasize replacing sugar-sweetened beverages with water, tea, or sparkling water. Chronic stress elevates cortisol and other hormones that push blood sugar higher. Small, daily stress practices, move minutes of guided breathing, a short walk, talking to a friend, or a sure-minute mindful pause can reduce stress hormone exposure and help keep glucose steadier. Short or disrupted sleep is linked to lower insulin sensitivity and higher